League games are hard, and Oregon State. I mean, they're off to a tough start if you look at their record, but they're a player or two away from being about where we are. And Wayne's a really good coach, and we have a lot of respect for their team. So we were really ready to play, and I thought we played very well the first 12 minutes of the game. I thought we finished the first half really poorly, but you have to give their team some credit for how they finished the half. And then in the second half, we again started the half well, burped a little bit late. But at the end of the night, we won the game and have a lot of teachable moments that we can look back at and hopefully learn from, but certainly feel good about the victory.
Started off with a question from Jeff Browder.
Yeah, Mark, as you said, you guys did a lot of good things for long stretches. You gave up 20 points off turnovers, but other than that, they didn't do much against you. Big picture, are you seeing the kind of growth that you had hoped to finally start seeing this year?
I think that we're an improved team. I think that my opinion is this is the best team that I've had since I've come here. I think we've improved in a lot of ways, but I think there's so much room for growth. And some of our demons are our own individual demons that we have to address. And we had some plays tonight that showed some immaturity that we still have, some poor decision making that we still show, and so there's a lot of room for growth. But I'm excited that our team is playing better, and it's great to have people back. It felt like a home court advantage, and this is a great building when people are in it, and we're still going to need all the help we can get from our fans.
And what was the atmosphere in the locker room after the game like when you guys won your Pac-12 opener for the first time in 4 years?
I'll be honest with you, there wasn't a huge celebration at the start. I let them give the post-game speech. I let them give an evaluation of the game because they're old enough to recognize, well, we didn't do some things well. We didn't handle a lead well. We didn't play. We didn't close out the first half well. So I let them talk, and obviously they're happy that they won, and that's an important victory for us. And there's 19 more of these games that are going to be super hard, and everyone you can get, you should relish in that win. And they were certainly happy, but I think they expected to win today, and that was a good sign.
Thanks.
Question from Trace Travers.
Coach, I think what was most noticeable from our vantage point was the length that you guys had against Oregon State when they had the length on you guys last year when you played them. How much has developing just size for your team helped you on the defensive end?
Well, I think I said that we've been so small the first couple of years, and so our matchups have just been a nightmare, for a couple of years, and last year, Kwani was a power forward backing up Grant. We didn't have any depth, and now he's a starting small forward, and he's got length at that position, and we still aren't as big maybe at the 5 with Dre, but we are bigger, and it's helped our matchups, and it certainly has helped our defense. And we have some really talented long guys that aren't playing, and I wish we could have them back, but. I think that to your question, that certainly being intentional about the kind of athlete that we recruit and put on the floor has helped us.
Yeah. And you mentioned Andre there, and I think the biggest development with him has been his hands. What kind of work has he put in the offseason to just get comfortable catching it from every single angle?
Well, I think if you look at what Dre does every day, we do basically a daily set of vitamins, some fundamental things that he does every single day that's allowed him to develop his interior game, and he can catch it, and he can finish over both shoulders, and he can score over defenders. He doesn't have to just lay it on the backboard, and so he's a tough cover because he's just every day done the little things in preparation for practice to develop his game, and it's something we've had a lot of success with, and he's he's a great example of, if you just work hard every day, how much you can continue to develop.
Thank you.
Yep.
Question from Rob Wayne.
Coach Andre's been stellar to start games recently, but today he actually caught fire, in the second half, going 6 of 7 for 16 points. What does that do for your offense, and does it help, just get to that next, level or gear in terms of your offense, trying to generate some points and maintain these leads?
Well, I think what's important for our team is to have balance, and I like Shep and Andre scored it well tonight. I think Grant was probably in double figures, but I don't think he played particularly well. Jalen and Kwani were a little quieter tonight, but I think what's important for our team is that we have balance. And I heard the tail end of Andre's comments about Jordan. I mean, Jordan's a very willing passer. And so these guys enjoy playing together. And I think the balance is really what's important for us, because you've got to be able to go different places with the ball.
And to follow up on that, for me, one of Andre's biggest improvements here has been his decision-making out of the post. Do you notice that when he's in the post, he's not as, frantic with the ball anymore? He's taking his time to figure out where the double team's coming from and where to pass out or when to attack?
Well, I think that really good post players have the ability to catch it and play in a crowd, and they can slow down and play in a crowd. And Andre has great poise now in the low post, and I think you saw that tonight. It's one of the reasons he was effective.
Thanks.
One final question from Jeff Rada.
Mark, how curious are you to see how your team responds now going on the road in a place that can be very difficult to play?
Well, I think that our team has to regroup tomorrow. We're going to look at this film, and there's so many poor plays in this game that we can learn from. And when you go on the road, you have to avoid beating yourself, and you have to be able to make plays to win. But you certainly can't beat yourselves. And so we're going to have to make sure that we grow from this game. Utah's got a good club. They've got some talented transfers, and it's a hard place to play. And so, this league is it's still really good, even though maybe the start hasn't been great for everybody. The league is still really good, and going to Utah will be a hard place for people to get wins, and we're going to have to play really, really well to do so.
Jordan, congratulations. I'm sure you weren't happy with the last 5 minutes of the first half, but how encouraged are you by the fact that you could play so well early in the game and then overcome, that problem at the end of the half and regain control of the game?
Very encouraged. Showed how tough we are, showed the grittiness. We was able to go out there and, put some points on the board, but also get stops, and that's honestly what it came down to.
They made a little run again when you got the 16-point lead in the second half, but you sort of stemmed that. What did you do differently at that point than you had in the first half when they made their run?
We stayed composed. I think that was the biggest factor, staying poised and being confident when the time's going down.
You haven't been around for the last several years, but Cal hasn't won a Pac-12 opener for 4 seasons. What's the locker room like right now?
Ecstatic. We didn't honestly play that well and still won, so it was very encouraging, and we're happy to get that first one on the board.
Thanks, Jordan.
Turn it over to Trace Travers.
Yeah, Jordan, we talked about your thumb injury the last time, but today you looked real comfortable just shooting from 3. Has anything changed for you on that front, or did you just get a bit more work today, get more in a rhythm?
Yeah, more work. Just staying confident. Put in a lot of work this summer, put in a lot of work every day. So I just stayed confident. Honestly, it was just a result of, the hard work that I put in, getting up shots, staying a little bit later.
Absolutely. And you had 8 rebounds as well. Was it a concerted effort for the guards to hit the glass, especially against an Oregon State team that's aggressive?
Yeah, definitely. That team's very athletic. I think they had the number 1, offensive rebounder in Pac-12, last year. So we definitely made an emphasis to go in there and try to help our front court get some rebounds.
Thank you.
Question from Rob Wayne.
Hey, Jordan, you and Andre were the only 2 guys that scored in the final 4 minutes of the game. Do you relish that role of just being the closer to these types of games with the ball in your hands and asking you to to maintain the lead and get out the victory?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I'm definitely confident in that. I've been around for a while, so I'm a little more composed and poised than I was, in the past years. But having a couple guys out there with me who can also do the same thing definitely helps, makes us more confident.
Turn it over to one more question from Jeff.
Jordan, can you talk about what you're getting from Andres, his fourth double-double, and he seems relentless. He's got great hands. He finishes around the rim.
We're getting amazing performances, but we're getting what we see every day. We know Dre can do this. We know what Dre's capable of. He's capable of this every night. So, it's not surprising to us, but that's who he is.
Andre, it's been a while since you guys won your Pac-12 opener. What did it feel like tonight, and what was the locker room atmosphere afterward?
We were really excited. We got this win. Coach was telling us all week, you get this win, you'll be first place in the pack. So we just kind of had that idea about us, and we're very excited to get that win.
You guys played real well, except for about a 5-minute stretch at the end of the first half and for about 3 minutes late in the game. How do you evaluate your performance as a team?
Just learning how to play with the lead, keeping our foot on the gas in those late situations. That's what I say. Just keeping, staying mature, and not getting content with the big lead, and just keep playing hard.
Did Coach say anything at halftime after they got the lead down to 1?
Just keep put that lead back up. Your foot on the gas. Keep going, and not get content or let up. And when we got him in those positions to really, that's when he go even harder and extend lead even further. So.
Thanks.
Question from Trace Travers.
Yeah, Andre, from watching you these past few weeks, it looks like you've gotten a lot more comfortable catching in the post. Have you done anything in particular to get more comfortable, or is it just development over time?
My coaches do a great job with development. This whole summer I was working on a lot of things, just shooting, post work, improving my efficiency with my footwork, my hands, and just kind of and just over time, playing. It's my 4th year, I have a little bit more experience, so I kind of know what to expect a little bit more as well. I know my team needs me to do a little bit more as well, so I'm trying to step up for them.
And Jordan obviously had a great game with you. What can you say about what he's brought to you guys these past couple of games?
Man, I love playing with Jordan. He's a great player. He finds me in roles. He can also score, so it's hard to he's a hard person to match up with because he can score it himself. The defense helps, and they take 2 with him. He's also a great passer, so he'll find the open man. So he's hard to contain, and it really opens everything up for everybody else.
Awesome. Thanks, Andre.
Question from Rob Wayne.
Hey, Andre, for the last few years, Matt Bradley's been the guy at the end of games, to close out for you guys offensively. But with that void, do you feel comfortable stepping into that role? And because I asked Jordan this, and he feels like he's comfortable with the ball in those moments. Do you want to take up that role for this offense as well?
Yeah, I'm comfortable with ball in my hands, laying the game. I think a lot of my teammates were all capable. Grant too. He had some big buckets against Seattle U, and I know laying the game. And it's not just one person or 2 people. I think there's a lot of people on this team that they're competitive when the time's right. They'll come through in the clutch for us.
One more question from Jeff Rado.
Yeah, Andre, the next frontier is winning on the road in the conference. What would it mean to beat Utah Sunday, and what do you guys need to do to get that to happen?
We haven't looked too much at Utah. I know winning on the road is a big thing, so we're gonna play hard. It's a crazy atmosphere and things like that, so we'll be ready by Sunday. We haven't even discussed it yet because we've just been focused on Oregon State. So we'll get it tomorrow, looking into it, and I'm sure we'll have a good game plan. We'll play hard.
Regardless of the specifics of what you have to do against Utah, just the mindset of going on the road. Are you a more mature team that's able to handle that? You think better now?
I think being a little older, it definitely helps playing in those atmospheres. When things go, things are going to go up and down in the game. It's kind of like a roller coaster. So when there's those highs, and there's those chaotic moments, you're able to just get through them. It's, it's going to go in waves, and your time will come. It's like they'll go on a run, go on a run as well. So it's a game of runs, and I think being older, being more mature, having more experience on the road, it definitely helps having older guys because you're able to play through those runs and just keep going. So that's something I could take away here.
Thank you.